What's up, everybody on YouTube? This is your girl Jillian coming to you with another Daily Dose of OJ. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the monstrosity that was the 2009 MTV Movie Awards. For those of you all that wasted your life and watched it, I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way I do. Now, I haven't watched the VMAs nor the Movie Awards in like years because I just felt like it was just starting to get boring. It was just becoming predictable. And this one further epitomized the reason why I don't watch the video awards or hardly anything on MTV anymore. Okay, Andy Samberg hosted. Andy Samberg did an okay job. I mean, I just feel as if like lately when MTV hosts award shows, I feel like they're forcing the comedy too much, and I understand the sarcasm and everything. Like, I love Jack Black. I love that kind of humor and everything, but for some reason it just seemed really monotonous. It just seemed like it just got really old to me really quick, okay? So, I mean, Andy Samberg did an okay job. I mean, I guess, you know, people that are fans of SNL that love Andy Samberg probably think he did brilliant. But, I mean, I think Andy did okay. He could have done, I think, worse. But, I mean, it was all right. But it's just, to me, just forced comedy. And to me, it just got really old. And then, like, of course, you had movies nominated for several categories. Twilight was the big one. You had Slumdog Millionaire, The Reader, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Iron Man, Batman. And of course, Twilight practically like won every category that they were nominated for. They won for Best Kiss, Best Fight, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Movie overall. And, you know, I know that MTV is like teeny bopper, it's more geared toward teens, and you know, and I'm sure that's why Twilight won everything, but I'm sorry, but I was just like really disappointed. I'm sure I'm like the last person on earth that has read like the whole Twilight series, but I just finished the whole Twilight series about a week ago, and after reading, especially after reading the first book, looking back at the movie, I thought the movie was a terrible job. I don't feel like the movie really portrayed the book very well. Most movies don't do a very good job portraying the book because they just alter scenes. But I don't know, like I have my little dork moment, but you know, I like Harry Potter. I feel like Harry Potter is very well like depicted in the movies. I feel like the graphics are well. I feel like it looks as realistic as it can possibly. I feel like the actors fit the part of the characters in the book. Whereas Twilight, I agree with all the actors playing the characters except for Bella. I love Kristen Stewart. I loved her in Adventureland. Adventureland was a great movie. But Kristen Stewart to me is not Bella. She just seems really awkward, and I know Bella in the book is clumsy and whatnot, but I guess considering, you know, how Bella marries Edward and how Bella, you know, has a baby and all this good stuff, I don't see that being Kristen Stewart. I don't. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Love Kristen Stewart. I just don't see her as Bella. Now, at the movie awards, Kristen Stewart, you know, I mean, was acting as Kristen Stewart. Now, I know that she is very awkward, very, I don't know how you would describe her, I guess punkish, like just very, I don't know, nonchalant, I guess. I don't know what the word is for, but I was wondering if maybe is Kristen Stewart really that awkward, or is she just further perpetuating a stereotype of herself? I don't know. She just seemed really, really like clumsy and very unsure of herself. But you know, I mean, maybe that's just Kristen Stewart, maybe that's just how she is on the reel, but I just felt like it was a bit excessive, like her awkwardness. But I mean, but she's wonderful. But I'm sorry, y'all, I just was just put off. I mean, Twilight won everything. I don't know, it was just predictable. I was bored. Furthermore, okay, the whole thing with Eminem and Bruno, which of course is played by the same guy that played in Borat. The whole scandal with him, you know, dressed up in angel wings, but his like ass was out, of course, naked, and he flies down like from the ceiling, of course, and lands, you know, ass up in Eminem's face. And of course, Eminem gets all upset. His crew's trying to push, you know, quote unquote Bruno off of him, and it's just a big mess. Now, there's been a lot of drama as to whether did MTV set that up, or was that really, unexpected? Did Eminem know that Bruno was going to fly ass first in his face? I don't know. I mean, I think both sides of the argument is plausible because, some people say, well, Eminem, he had a crew with him. Like most rap stars do, they have a crew. And it's hard to believe that he just dropped down from the ceiling and his crew didn't notice that, this practically naked homosexual character is dropping down in Eminem's face. It's hard to believe that they didn't see that coming. But I will say this: if it wasn't planned, then whether it was or wasn't planned, if it was, then Eminem, of course, should get an Oscar for his performance because he looked mad as hell. Like, I thought if he could have carried a pistol with him to the award show, he probably would have shot, Bruno, quote unquote, to death. So, I don't know. I just thought it was really interesting. I'm curious to see what you all think. Whether, is that, would MTV really do that? Was it planned? Was it scripted? Or was it unexpected? Was it truly a surprise? Because everybody kind of looked confused, like, are we supposed to be laughing at this, or are we not supposed to be laughing at this? I don't know. It's Eminem. You don't want to get shot up. You don't want to get, beat up as soon as you walk outside the award show for laughing at him. But then again, people also say Eminem's been, has spent a lot of his videos dissing other people, and when something happens to him, he can't dish it out. Like, he overreacts, he gets all upset. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see what you all think about all that. But overall, I did not like the movie awards. I felt like it was monotonous, like I said earlier. I felt like it was boring. Andy Samberg did an okay job. Of course, they did like a rendition of Dick in the Box and all that good stuff. But it was just, I don't know. It was just so predictable. And I'm so over MTV right now almost. Because, I feel like, for example, and this is kind of like straying off subject, but MTV is doing Real World Cancun. I'm like, come on now. The Real World has not been the Real World since, the 90s. When I was a kid and I used to watch Real World, with my older cousins and whatnot, that was the Real World. The Real World now is nothing but, just people perpetuating a stereotype. You have, the one or two black people on the show, the angry black people, whatever. You have the white guy or the white girl that has never seen a black person before in their life, and this is just all a new experience for them, even though we live in the 21st century. And then you also have the homosexual. And it's just getting old. It's just so boring. And all it is just sex and arguing. That's all Real World has become. It's just boring. It's lame. Real World Cancun, I'm like, wow, that's going to be 2 months of just spring break, basically. It's just, I don't know. And then, Paris Hilton is going to have her, I guess another, I Want to Be Paris Hilton's BFF or whatever her show is called. I never watched it, but I'm sorry. It's just, I wish MTV would get back to what MTV used to be in the 80s and in the 90s, like music and just really good shows. Now, don't get me wrong. MTV has a few great shows in my opinion, like when they had Taken the Stage, which was a show that followed some teens at a performing arts school. I thought that show was very, very good. It didn't have a bunch of sex. It didn't have, too much drama. It was just typical high schoolers being high schoolers. I thought it was a very good program. It was awesome. It to me, it was just very well. And that's one of the shows that I really like on MTV. I'm really curious to see, I think they're having a show also called 16 and Pregnant. I'm really curious to see how that show is going to go. But, overall, I just think MTV needs to get back to the basics. They need to get back to what they used to be known for, which is playing really great music videos and producing, fairly great shows. And I think right now it's just getting boring and it's getting old. How many dick jokes can you tell, before everybody just knows them all and it's just like, okay, whatever. So anyway, let me know what you all think. Thank you for watching our show. It's still fairly new. Oshi and I are still trying to, produce really great material for you all, in spite of our busy schedules. But thank you so much. Comment, rate, subscribe, email us if you have any, you know, suggestions, if you all think that we're lame, if you all think that maybe there's some other topics you all would like us to address, we will. But once again, I mean, I totally give the movie awards a grade D if I could grade it anything else. It was just, it sucked. It was horrible. So anyway, MTV, I'm gonna need for you all to do better. Thank you.